Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Big Data Show. I'm your host, Nate Latimer, also founder and CEO of Nvatomate. We're going to be discussing some of Nvatomate's tools today, our NV Pulse LinkedIn lead generation tool, which has been a huge success for our exciting guest today, Mr. Paul Davis with the Citrus Club. So welcome, Paul. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, man. Honored to be here. Thank you.
So, Paul, tell us a little bit about this Citrus Club.
So Citrus Club is a private business and social networking club located downtown Orlando, 18th floor, and it's become the national kind of recognized place for people to come into Orlando and network and socialize.
Yeah, and it's a really fancy environment too. So like if you want to impress a client as a member, if you want to meet prospective new clients, there's a gym. Like, tell us some of the features about the member benefits.
Yeah, sure. All of the above. Not only is it a place for people to come and business, network, and hang out, but we've got food and beverage. We've got a fitness center. We've got a spa. We have a massage therapist. We've got personal trainers. We've got group exercise classes. But in the lounge area, it's really a place where people come there. It's a shared workspace, essentially. The view, can't beat it. I actually use it for an office space myself. I like to, sit up there and look at the highway, get some views in and drink some water with my laptop, use my NV Pulse, catch up on my leads. We have a formal dining room area too. So we've got, you can make reservations. We've got private ballrooms. We've got events going on. Various associations and organizations use our club daily. Mm-hmm. I think we represent probably every major vertical market in Orlando right now, from real estate to banking to law to medical to tech. I've got Scholastic in there. I've got sports and entertainment. So it's become a real hub for people to come in and unite.
Yeah, that's what I always enjoyed about it, especially, since the pandemic, nobody really has offices anymore. For the most part, a lot of people work from home. So,
yes.
Rather than, a client flying into town and, them you're just being hosted at your home, it's more of a professional, atmosphere to where, you can book a conference room and, you actually have food and beverage served to you or, fully catered. So I always really enjoyed that aspect of it. And, for you, as director of membership,
yes.
Connecting the members is something that I always found of great value too, because, I remember when I first joined the club, that's something that you guys did is, you're in big data,
yes.
You're in technology,
yes.
You're in marketing and advertising, you should meet these members.
Yes.
So connecting those people was always a big value to me too. So yeah. I love that place.
I'm glad you said that, because one of my selling points, Nate, when I'm touring is I personally used the club myself as a member. So I was a member before I became the membership director. And the value that I found was I was sitting in the midst of, major players in Orlando, and I said, what better place but what better way to connect? I tried the home office thing, I tried the shared office, the shared workspace, and I was by myself most of the time. And then you come into a club like the Citrus Club, and then all of a sudden you're meeting 5, 6, 7 people a day, right? And then that's the value add. So as opposed to me spending $1,000 on an office space, right now I have a club membership that I can use across the country as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that was leading me to my next question is, when you become a member, you can go to any of the other city clubs under the, invited clubs umbrella, Citrus Club being one of the clubs under the umbrella. So,
yeah.
How many other cities are you guys in right now?
Yeah, sure. So we've got basically 3 divisions. We've got the City Club division, right? We've got Stadium Club division, and then we've got our Golf and Country Club. So we've got over 200 clubs that Citrus Club members have access to around the country. In every major city, I can guarantee you there's a club that they have access to. The stadium clubs, we actually have clubs inside of major universities. We've got one in Alabama, go Tide. We've got one in Texas. We've got Arizona and a few others. And we've got several clubs throughout Florida that are golf and country clubs. Myself, I like to go take my family out of Tampa. In Fort Lauderdale.
Tampa Bay Golf and Country Club. Yeah,
yes, sir.
Been there a few times.
Yep. And then we find that we have some international clubs as well, or affiliations, right, with some clubs internationally. But primarily here in the States, we've got access to over 200 clubs.
Very cool. Very cool. So talk to us about how you find prospective members, or how you used to find prospective members back in the day before we met.
Yeah. So back in the day before we met, I was given a $99 subscription to the Orlando Business Journal and a LinkedIn account. And basically I spent my time going outside the four walls of the club, walking up and down the sidewalks, going to networking events, joining various
in a suit, sunny Florida, huh?
knocking on
Sounds
doors. That's right. That's right. I was the outbound guy. I was scouring the phone books. I was scouring the Orlando Business Journal, the Book of Lists, sending emails to people, getting promoted, moving into the area, making cold calls, right? And it's tough, right? As you said, I was walking around in a suit, but I joined every chamber possible. I've done everything possible. I've joined every networking event. And they say that an average salesman spends about 20 or 30% of his time doing research. Okay, so that was the piece I was missing until I met you.
Yeah. So talking about the Nvpulse technology and just what it does, so the viewers understand, what this technology does is built on top of LinkedIn Sales Navigator Core. So you have more targeting options that way. Those targeting options allow us to filter down to specific industries within that market surrounding their club locations. So we really drill down into the number of employees. We drill down into their annual sales revenues, specific executive titles. We like to, in a city club environment, find those industries and those titles that would be, more so prone to network, and really get the most out of the club. So the system, what it does is it's going to handle the prospecting for you. It handles the follow-up for you, and it handles the scheduling for you by using like a simple Calendly integration to your Outlook or your Gmail, whatever sort of calendar it is that you use. So the results have been pretty outstanding. We're very proud to be servicing many of the clubs throughout the country, doing lead generation. And I'm just looking at your stats right here, Paul. Yeah. So over the last 30 days, we've got 1,227 people that viewed your LinkedIn profile. We sent out 961 invites, so connection requests that are hyper personalized. We want it to come across as really hi, Paul. Sure. And considering you're in blank variable industry, we thought you might be a good fit. Would you like to come in for a lunch and a tour? And feel free to bring a guest. May I have your email address? We leave with a question mark because it prompts the human brain to respond. And let's say they only accept your connection request, but they don't direct message you right away. Those people could be lost in the abyss of your network, and you have to go backwards and find out, okay, who viewed my profile, who accepted my connection request, but did not, for whatever reason, start talking to me. Our algorithm will wait 24 hours later, and then that's when our follow-up sequence message kicks in and says, hey, thank you for adding me to your valued network. When would be a good time for you to come in? Here's a link to my calendar. They click on that link, they view your calendar, they choose an open time slot, and then the idea is, you guys as membership directors wake up, drink your coffee, and you check your computer, and you right now are averaging 15 leads a day. That's right. Which is pretty impressive. So 449 replies we've generated for you over the last 30 days.
Yes.
And the conversion rate metrics, on average, 65% of them are going to be interested, or as we call them, workable leads. And 46.6% out of this 449 are what we consider to be laydowns, or very easy to convert because they want to come in for a tour. They're asking questions. So that's really how the program works. Tell us about the built-in CRM and how you interact with it, so you keep track of all the leads.
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked that question because I kind of compensate sometimes. I have my own tracking database as well that I keep track of. I specifically take my leads that Nvpulse is generating for me, and I've created my own spreadsheet. I've got my own color-coded things, and I've got people that I will reach out 6 months from now. I've got people that'll tell me, hey, reach out 6 days from now. So it's very specific. The one thing I do appreciate about the Nvpulse is that they have a labeling system. So I can create my own labels. So I can say, never call this guy again. Or I can say, hey, call this guy in 2 days. I can set up calendar invites to call. What I like to do is I kind of use Salesforce a little bit to just create their profile, right? But I'm really relying on my own spreadsheets and my own database and color coding system to track these individuals. And NV Pulse just makes it very easy with the labeling system.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the labels, you can create your own labels within the system. So you can put, interested, not interested, follow up later, already a member, or what have you. So it helps you stay organized that way. There's also an export function, so you can export everything and data sort it so that you're only importing into Salesforce the ones that were interested, and or maybe even the follow-up laters. There's now a native Salesforce integration, so if you want that data migrated automatically into like an NV Pulse lead section, so it doesn't over convolute your main working pipeline,
Right.
Then you can just migrate them from the NV Pulse section into the hot pipeline section.
Absolutely.
So definitely makes your life a lot easier.
Yes.
We also have a feature that is called Campaign Insights. So Campaign Insights, that's really how we internally get better at optimizing your results. So with Campaign Insights, it's going to be pie charts, and the pie charts are going to show you like who we are targeting, what industries we're targeting, what executive titles we're targeting, what company sizes we're targeting. But really, the value is seeing who's responding. So the reply rate per industry, for you right now, advertising services is in the lead, IT services and IT consulting. And in third place is business consulting and services.
Sure.
So, having known that those industries are responding the best for you, that's what we're going to focus on more the second month. And then we just keep calibrating and optimizing along the way. Same thing with titles. Presidents, chief executive officers, CEOs, founders, managing partners, those are your top performers right now. So, there's an AI element to it so that it will learn that and calibrate it for us. The only time we really need to step in as humans, because we've set this up so well, is if the feather starts to drop,
Right.
and we see that if you're getting less than 100 replies in a month, that's when we're like, okay, cool, let's switch up the audience, let's start manually making some changes. But overall, this tool certainly makes your life a lot easier, right?
It has. I mean, that's an understatement. I can go back to times where I was searching and scouring for new markets, and it's at times for a salesperson, right? It can get frustrating because you feel as though no one likes to hear no, but I'd get 399 no's before I got one yes, right? But what NV Pulse has done now is it's basically made my percentages. If I have 50 conversations a day, I'm getting 25 that are of value.
That's huge.
It's humongous.
That's huge. Makes your life a lot easier.
Just based off this platform, last month I scheduled 8 tours. I closed half of them.
That's incredible.
These are conversations that we wouldn't have.
The beauty of it is they're coming to you because we've already got a hyper-targeted, hyper-qualified audience that goes
Correct.
into it. So we lay the foundation correctly.
Correct.
And then, with the messages going out, it's really cloning you as a membership director so you can do 10 times the amount of work without having to be glued in front of a computer all day doing research and trying to find these prospects, while what you really should be doing is being out on the floor and schmoozing and entertaining the existing members and
making
connecting them with each other. Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
Well, very cool, Paul.
Yeah,
So, I guess my next question for you would be, is there any advice, considering you've used the NV Pulse technology, that you would give to some of the newer membership directors within the organization that are just now using it? Any tips?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say to anybody, so from the perspective of, being the membership director at the Citrus Club, you have to use it. My best advice on how to use it, you have to use it. I check my inbox constantly, and I try to keep it clean. As many of you probably look at your phones and you clear out your inboxes and your emails, your text messages. NV Pulse, you have to use it the same way. So what happens is you have people that we're targeting on behalf of Citrus that are high-level professionals. You give them more than 24 hours, you may lose them. So, if I don't reach out to them, somebody else is going to reach out to them. and you have to have that sense of urgency because our target audience, our demographic is very specific, and they're ready to move. So I'm going to assume that they feel my sense of urgency. You have to use it. That's the only way it's going to be successful. If your inbox has 200 messages and you haven't looked at it in a week, those people have forgotten about you.
100%, 100%. So, yeah, like it's also very convenient that because it works in parallel and in sync with LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and you have the LinkedIn Sales Navigator app on your phone, it's not like you have to be glued to our graphic user interface in front of a computer to keep up with it. You can chat to the people that are asking questions on the fly through the LinkedIn app while you're on the floor giving a tour. And,
on vacation.
Yeah, on vacation,
Which
sure.
I did.
Yeah, so, well, Paul, I really appreciate you being on the show here today, just kind of giving us your feedback and your success story on our products. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother.